What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Inside the Five. It's Will.
It's Stav.
And it's Griff.
And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the national championship, UConn, the Big East, and the Big East going forward, as well as a little Red Sox talk, the opening series against the Orioles and the Pirates, and the rest of the upcoming games. What do we say, boys?
Let's do it.
Let's go. One sec.
Mm-hmm. You good?
My contact just fell out. 1 sec.
Don't worry. Take your time.
You wear contacts?
Yeah. Don't worry. Emergency. Break the emergency glass.
We like that.
Whoa.
It's game time.
I've never seen you with your glasses.
Really?
Never. Really?
Never.
I've had glasses since like 4th grade.
I'd never
like
seen
that.
Yeah, bro. I have L vision.
There's been a contacts guy for a while.
I
Yeah,
think I knew that you wore contacts. I just had no idea that you I've never seen you in glasses.
Yeah, I know. Usually I'm pretty good with my contacts, but sometimes you get a little pop out, you know.
No, a little dry,
Happens, but it's actually it hasn't been on an episode in a minute, to be honest.
Maybe I have seen them and made the same remarks.
I just I don't like wearing them because look at the glare.
Yeah.
You can actually just see that I'm looking at the box score of the game right now.
Oh man.
I might just watch the Masters and talk about it.
I should put on the Masters in the background so even more light. But Will, when do you want to get started?
I'll start.
No, we're actually in it right now, bro, because I don't wear glasses stuff. And this is a prank.
I could kind of tell they weren't real because no glasses reflect like that. I knew they were glasses.
Was that this planned? Was all part of the plan.
Was that something you guys planned before I got on?
Yeah, and honestly, it took the planning out was longer than it should have been.
That's oh fuck, you got me.
Well, did you for a second that I was telling the truth?
I mean, hypothetically, yes. Just because, one, I've known you for over 2 years now. I've never seen you with glasses, and I've never heard you talk about contacts or glasses. So that was a little surprising. And second of all, I don't know why you would turn off your camera to adjust your contact if it fell out. So that was a little
the contact fell out. I still had to contact my other one, so I had to get in there. That was the game. That was I kept it up real quick.
And then third, when the glasses were reflecting orange, I was those are
yeah,
I didn't want to
blue light. I got these blue light glasses during COVID because I was playing Fortnite for 14 hours.
I have blue light glasses. No, I just never wear them.
Will wears glasses.
Yeah, I wear glasses.
Will can't see.
And this just looks fucking stupid.
I actually don't know where my glasses are.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, Will, you can judge. Who looks better in their glasses.
You guys both have glasses faces, though.
No, I have glasses. I just never wear them. But these are blue light glasses. I need glasses, though. I need to get my eyes checked again.
I went recently. Am I still deciding?
Griff, do we have the same blue light glasses?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if we have the same ones or not.
I think we do.
Bro, who has the better?
Take off your hat. That's what's
glasses. Well, it looks better in the glasses.
Take off the hat. It's a true judgment that way.
Yeah, you take the hat off.
Whoa! I'm growing my hair though. wait. No, I've been wearing. I worked, bro. I've been wearing that all day.
But with the hat.
I also have.
Yeah, but stop. You see my hair? I'm growing it out.
Yeah, that's true.
I like Griff's glasses. Those are the OG.
No, fuck you, Will. I'm logging.
Will likes my face. Will likes my face. Will likes my face.
To be honest, those glasses brought back like a lot of memories from COVID.
You know what else Will likes, Stav? The Connecticut Huskies. Just an ultimate segue. Will, get us into it.
So, UConn, national champions, big win. Never really in doubt, to be honest. Like, there was some close points in the game, but not really. UConn had it all the way. There wasn't really ever a doubt. It was always UConn. We always knew that at the end of the day. W bracket from us. We predicted the winner as a podcast. So we'll take that as a win.
Yeah,
UConn wins 76-59 covered. We like to see that too.
Yeah, I mean, I want to start just by saying the second half was sloppy, and
Yes.
that is exactly how San Diego State wanted this game to be. That was the only way that they would win the game. So I would chalk up the second half, even though Connecticut scored 5 more points than San Diego State in the second half. That was a good half by San Diego State. That was their best shot at beating Connecticut, was what they did in the second half. But it's just a testament to this Huskies team. The University of Connecticut has been like this all season. They finished with a perfect season against non-conference opponents, meaning the Big East is the toughest division or conference, in college basketball. It was a beautiful ending to a beautiful season of ups and downs, everything in between. Stav, we were there through, I would say, the thin of it. Losing to Marquette in the Big East semifinal, people forget about that. You get in there with a 4 seed where, I mean, we're talking about maybe they could be a 2 seed if they mess around and win the Big East tournament. They get in with a 4 seed, and honestly, there wasn't really any doubts. People talk about that Iona game as being probably their biggest challenge in terms of when Iona was going on a run, but it was still Iona. We all knew UConn was going to win that game. There really wasn't ever a doubt that they were losing any game they played. Stav, we know it very well as well because we hammered them every single game. Beautiful feeling, beautiful end to the season. I'm kind of angry at myself. It's the end of the week. I wish we could have talked about this game a little bit sooner. But I mean, just a beautiful season, like I said, and it's been our point all year long that the Big East is the best conference in basketball.
And it's clear. This was probably one of the most dominant tournament runs I've seen out of a team. There were no close games. UConn won by 10 plus points in every single game. I think, what was it, 15 plus points? Because their closest game was against St. Mary's when they won by 15. And they dominated the tournament. And Griff, you're right. The only time that there was a little bit of a question mark above this UConn team was that first half in the Iona game. And since then, they haven't been trailing, I don't think, like at any point, essentially. And they just dominated. They played great basketball. They played a great brand of basketball as well, where certain guys were stepping up, making good plays in certain moments, and especially down the stretch when they went to Adamas Sanogo, he came through. In the Final Four and in the national championship, he was dominant. Griff, you and I always talk, like, I just remember us sitting in Madison Square Garden and saying every time that Sanogo has to put the ball on the floor, he's a liability. And in the tournament, he proved us wrong. In the Final Four and in the national championship, he was putting the ball on the floor. He was driving to the hoop, making tough finishes, making his free throws, and the guys around him, guys like Jordan Hawkins, were stepping up, making big threes. Action Jackson, he was doing his thing. Like, everyone stepped up, made the plays when they had to, and in certain moments when they went to certain guys off the bench really stepped up in the tournament. We saw in the Big East tournament that Joey Calcaterra really didn't have a great game against Marquette. However, that kind of raised a question mark for us. We brought it up saying, okay, how's he going to perform when the lights are bright? How will he perform in the tournament? And he performed excellently. Like I said, with Sanogo in the Final Four in the national championship, his performance stuck out, especially on the defensive end of the floor. And Klingon as well. Final Four, national championship, those guys really stepped up. And without the performance of those guys, I don't think UConn goes where they were.
Yeah, and I do want to say one guy that we really haven't mentioned at all this year, and one guy that I want to say truly displayed how much of a impact he can be. And honestly, the ceiling of this team really relies on this guy, in my opinion, is Tristan Newton. And he came out in both the Final Four and the national championship game, and he put together 2 great games. In the national championship, he had 19 points. He grabbed 10 boards, and I mean, he dished a couple assists. He had 4 assists. He came out in that game, and he looked like, I mean, the best player on the court, maybe other than Adama Sanogo. He was truly, he was just, he did his thing. Sorry, I'm pausing because we didn't mention him at all in the Big East tournament. We didn't really think about him, and he was a guy that was crucial at the beginning of the season with them. He kind of lost his spot in the rotation because he didn't really know where to fit in between that point guard and shooting guard position. He's a taller guard. He's 6'5", and he fit into that point guard role real well, and he's getting 10 rebounds in a game as well in the national championship. He had a magnificent game in the Final Four as well, and he really boosted this team on all ends of the court. He was really just that missing piece I feel like they had in the Big East tournament, because at that point in time, obviously they were a little banged up through the thick of the season. They didn't really have everybody full strength, but looking at this team full, a 31-8 season, even though going into this tournament as a 4 seed, this is one of the most dominant teams of all time. They didn't lose a single game outside of the Big East. And I mean, you may not look on paper and see some clear NBA guys, but I'd like to put money seeing Jordan Hawkins entering the NBA draft this year. Honestly, in my opinion, I think that this would be the year for him to do it. He has a lot of upside. He's still quite young. He shot the hell out of the ball throughout the tournament. And also, if we're looking at a guy, Andre Jackson Jr. is a prospect. He's not a guy that can shoot the ball very well. He's very athletic, very defensive minded. Those are guys that NBA teams like. There's some NBA players on this team, and Adama Sanogo is one of those guys that falls into, a weird category because he's not really that tall. But you're right, Stav. He proved us wrong when he had to put the ball on the floor in the tournament. UConn, I just want to cap it all off with this game with UConn. Well-deserved, a dominant run.
Shout out San Diego State as well. I don't know if everyone remembers, but I said that they were going to make a run in the tournament. I said it. That's on record. Go back to one of the February episodes. I said it. I said they were deep. I said they were a good team. They just kind of surprised everyone. They had some very close wins. It was kind of the opposite end of the spectrum for them. I kind of want to shine some light on them because most likely we'll never see them back in the national championship. I mean, just kind of like the reality of when some of these other schools make it to this far, right? This is their first school in this national championship. It's kind of like the sad reality of FAU as well. We'll probably never see them make a run ever again, just based off of probability, right?
Unless they have a bunch of returners.
But even at that point, who knows, right?
A bunch of returners, maybe some new guys, but like still.
Their coach probably will get a higher D1 job, something like that. The wheel's going to fall off, whatever. Now, I'm not here to shine negativity. Shout out San Diego State. Great run from them, but it was just a dominant run by UConn. Well-deserved, and there's not much else to say. It was just dominant to recap.
Definitely.
All right. Now, we have some preview. I know it's early, but we have some previews for the 2023, the Big East versus the Big 12 matchups. And we went through this entire past college basketball season talking about, okay, which conference is the best in college basketball. We kind of said the Big 12, and we said the Big East was right there, especially towards the end of the season. We thought that the Big East was the best conference in college basketball, and next season we get to put that to a test. And John Rothstein tweeted out the matchups between the Big East and the Big 12, and I know it's early, recruits haven't gone yet, coaches haven't made their declarations, but just the names of the schools that are going to be competing is electric in itself. Starting up at the top with UConn at Kansas. Now, I don't really need to see the rest of this list, to be honest, to be excited, because that's just absolutely a treat to watch, or it's going to be.
And I'm so mad that it's at Kansas. If this game was at UConn, we'd go there. We would be there. We would have to automatically be. What?
Said it should be at UConn. They just won.
It should be. This is, you know what? There's not enough people spreading light on this Big East unbiased here. I don't like how this is the marquee game and it's not at UConn.
Yeah, they're getting.
Why is everything about Kansas? Why can't we switch it up ever? I feel like Kansas plays 30 home games in a year. Every single game that they play is a home game. No, but obviously I'm just messing around. It's going to be a fantastic game, and we do get a game back in Texas at Marquette, Stav. These are the two big games. I kind of wanted to group these two games and talk about them a little bit together because obviously, like you said, rosters aren't locked in. And obviously before this even kicks off next season, this is a very, very far outlook on these games. They take place towards the end of November, early December. But like you said, these are the two real like conferences that people have been talking about mentioning basketball in dominance. I mean, these are the two biggest conferences in college basketball right now. Maybe the SEC should be included in that talk. But when we're talking about these conferences, we think about these four teams: UConn, Kansas, Texas, Marquette. These are, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest things that could happen in college basketball, getting these two conferences together, matching up this Eastern Conference area in that Midwest, getting a taste of a little bit of taste of the Midwest over here on the East and vice versa. I'm very happy that this is happening, and UConn is winning that game at Kansas, and they're going back to back next year.
Wow.
Yeah. How could they not? I know there were some rumors as well about Bill Self and how he might not come back to Kansas. I think he shut down those rumors. He said he is going to return. So that's as expected. It's exciting. I know we have a long offseason ahead of us. We have a long summer essentially until college basketball, but it's right around the corner. I'm excited. And this has been just another recap, a great year, because in the past, I'll admit, I haven't really been the biggest college basketball fan. And this year, I feel like I'm stepping into it. And in my opinion, it's a better product than NBA basketball.
Oh, I mean, okay. This is not no hate. This isn't any hate towards you, Stav. I want that to be the last time that's discussed in here because I want it to be known.
That's fair.
In my opinion, it's always been that, and there's been years where I've been more focused on NBA basketball. And overall, regular season versus regular season game at the beginning of the season, I'd rather watch the Maui tournament than the Celtics play the Raptors. You know, I'm not going to lie because, well, maybe not the Celtics. I love the Celtics. But you're right. When you want to watch some pure basketball, you go watch the kids that, you know, still believe in something. That's the way that I see it, honestly.
It's pure hoops. It's just basket. Like, you know what I mean? There's none of this extra bullshit on the side. Well, I don't want to get more into it, but you get where I'm going with this. There's a reason, like, from a pure basketball standpoint, I would rather watch college basketball. I'm sorry. Not really. Not sorry.
I mean, not wrong, though. Like, we, come by breaking it down, regular season, like you said, who really cares more at the end of the day?
The kids. That's the kids, the amateurs.
Like they're going out there like we have a chance. Like at the beginning of the year, like we have a chance at a dream this year. Like we have anything. The worst team in the NBA last year, who was still going to be bad this year and the year prior, they're just waiting for who's going to be the number one draft pick.
Yeah.
Like they're planning like 10 years in advance. Like SDSU went on like they didn't think they were going to be in the national championship, and they got there. And they're like, we have a chance. You know what I mean?
I do want to shed some light on A lot of people are saying San Diego State was a miracle run. I don't believe that. If you guys don't remember, before March Madness was ended, the COVID year, San Diego State was going to be like a 1 seed in that tournament. San Diego State went stupid that year. So I do want to say they are an established basketball program. They have great coaching as well. And they will continue to be good. They should move to the Pac-12 and become a fake basketball program.
I don't even know why they're not in the Pac-12, to be honest, because they just continue to dominate the Mountain West. And the Pac-12's done pretty soon with USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten, which we talk about this a lot. That's just going to be so weird. Those two teams.
Yeah, imagine having like environmental studies at 10 a.m. on a Thursday, and then after you have to fly from your campus on Oklahoma to South Carolina to play a game at like 10 a.m. the next day. Like, that's what the kids are going to have to do. The Big Ten is so far away from California. Like that, I don't even get me started on realignment, because we need conference realignment at this point. This is a mess. No team that plays in California should be playing in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they really need realignment.
You're going to play Rutgers? They're going to play Rutgers. That's literally on the other side of the country.
The quality of we talked about this in New York. Imagine like DC and Pitt went back to the Big East.
Yeah, why not? That'd be a great conference. BC would be pretty good in the Big East. They'd be better than DePaul.
Yeah, for sure. They'd be better than DePaul. And Marquette, we talked about this too. There's no reason why Marquette should be in the Big East. They're not in the East.
We love Marquette. We love Shaka Smart. But there is absolutely no reason that a team in Milwaukee, Wisconsin should be in the Big East. That's just not the East. It just doesn't make sense. Like I said, the reason that they're really in the Big East was because they had to choose a conference that was like a basketball conference that only had basketball. Because like, what other Marquette sports do you guys know about?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Name one other Marquette sport that you've watched in the past 5 years, Will.
You have
Marquette doesn't play any other sports.
Yeah, I haven't seen any.
They have like intramural flag football
on ESPN. All right.
Plus.
I think that kind of wraps up college basketball talk. When we start talking about flag football, I think that's a cue to move on. Happening opening week for the Red Sox and the MLB, huh? Red Sox won their first series against the Oakland, or against the I almost said the Oakland Athletics, against the Baltimore Orioles. Game 1 they lost. I think we did predict they would go 2-1, but everything was shifted one game. So they lost the opener, and then they won the next two. Am I lying? Why do I think they lost? No, they won the Tanner Houck start.
Mm-hmm.
They lost Kluber. Sale.
They lost Kluber.
Do we even want to go? We'll go game by game quick, right? Just a quick little recap. So, opening day against the Orioles.
Will was there.
I was there.
Will was there.
It was a shit show.
Well,
if watching it like live at the game, it was definitely a shit show, because like starting off the game, like it was bad. Like Adley already hit a nuke. We were already facing adversity. Like everything imaginable going wrong went wrong, and then some. Also, we predicted that Kluber was going to go hopefully 5. He barely made it like 3.
Well, yeah, but this Red Sox offense made it a game, and that's kind of been the story of the entire season up to this point, where pitching has been lackluster. I mean, Kluber went 3.1 innings, and he got the loss, obviously. But first inning, he let up that Adley home run, and then they the bottom half they tied it up. And then it was scoreless in the second and the third. And then the fourth run is when the floodgates opened. But then the Red Sox kind of came back, scored a little bit, and the Orioles opened it up even more, making it 7-2. And then the rest of the game was the Red Sox game. They scored 3 runs in the 8th, 2 runs in the 9th, and they had an opportunity with runners on second and third, 2 outs, and they just couldn't capitalize. It was unfortunate. But then let's talk about the next game. The next game, the game of Stavros, when the Red Sox were down 7-1, similar to opening day, but they came back. They came back and won. This was not the Sale day that we're used to knowing. It was a really bad performance out of Chris Sale. And really, really bad.
Look, this is the Sale day, though. Come on.
Well,
it's not what we're used to knowing, but it's kind of getting to be.
Well, not.
Well, we'll get to today. We will get to today.
Yes. 7 earned runs for Chris Sale in 2 innings is not the Chris Sale that we've ever seen. And that's even the Chris Sale of last year wouldn't have done that. It's just offense we knew would be up. Around the league, offense is up. People are scoring. Runs are being scored. Stars are getting held. Jacob deGrom is getting smoked. Or he got smoked his first start. He got absolutely smoked. He got taken off the mound in 2 innings. Right? That's Jacob deGrom. Scherzer, I think, lost his opening start. A lot of these guys are – the only pitcher that is just seemingly not affected at all is Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease is just absolutely shoving, and it doesn't matter. He'll throw a pitch in 1 second if he has to.
And watch out for Spencer Strider tonight. Trust.
Well, anyways, Red Sox came back, won that game, and then the next game, not really much happened. They won 9-5, won the series. Stars up to this point, Adam Duvall.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the first star. He's been performing outstanding, like all-star level. I know it's only 7 games into the season, but all-star level up to this point. The best hitter in the American League right now.
Yes. Batting .458.
Yeah, which if you told me Adam Duvall would come to Boston and bat .458, I'd call you crazy.
But I feel like a couple weeks ago I said Adam Duvall was going to be trash.
Yeah.
I'll call myself out.
He is leading the team in average, leading the team in home runs, RBIs, on base percentage, and hits. Every single stat for offense, he's leading.
I mean, yeah, I said a lot. There's a lot to unpack with this Red Sox season. Obviously, we're still a few games in, but we talk about this Orioles series, and then Stav, I'd like you to move us on to this Pirates series. It really didn't go our way.
Not at all, and it was really embarrassing, to be honest. You can't get swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates at home. Regardless of what point of the season it is, you cannot get swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates at home. And not only that, game 1 was kind of electric. Runs were scored, especially early on. I think there was 8 runs scored in the first inning, 8 runs. Pirates opened it up, scored 3 runs. And then the Red Sox in the bottom half of the first scored 5. Masataka Yoshida hit his first home run, which was absolutely electric. And that family that wouldn't get the ball back, here's that for you. And then it kind of fell off, right? They only scored 1 run in the 6th after that. Cutter Crawford let up 7 runs. It's just they need to get consistent pitching. That's what I've learned up to this point. 7 games in, it's either the starters are great and the bullpen sucks, or the bullpen up to this point hasn't been bad, right? Guys out of the Richard Bleer, Chris Martin, Kenley Jansen has been shutting the door on opponents, which we knew it was the Kenley Jansen.
Your guy. That's your guy.
It was the Kenley Jansen show for the first 2 months. I said that, and then come July, I will get nervous. That's what I said.
I'm ready. I'm ready for I'm on Team Jansen all year.
And guys like John Schreiber have been excellent as well.
Yeah.
He's been shutting the door on guys. And it's really good to see, right? Because this was a major dark spot for our team. But now that Cloud has moved from the bullpen to the starting rotation, and I am nervous about the starting rotation, to be honest.
But there are reinforcements on the way. And
but define reinforcements.
Ryan Bayo, the future. He is the future. And if you want to commit to that guy being the future of our team in our pitching staff, you have to commit now, Stav. You can either be on board with him or you can hop off the ship now.
I think he's a 3rd starter. I don't think
that's ceiling.
Yeah.
In his career?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Because we looked at his
And you don't think Whitlock's a reinforcement either? You don't
No,
think he's going to
Whitlock,
start?
no. Listen, Whitlock, I would rather have him in the bullpen, but because of how shit the starting rotation is, he's going to be a starter. And he's excellent in the bullpen. From what we saw last year, he's not a good starter, right? He'll face a lineup through once. Once he gets to that second time through, that's when guys start to tee off on him. So we need him in the bullpen. Houck is starting right now. I'd rather keep Houck as a starter and instead of flip-flopping him and putting Houck back in the bullpen. It doesn't make much sense.
I always thought that was my same thought process last season.
Yeah, exactly. And James Paxton's also another guy. He's just a question.
Yeah, I don't care about James Pat. He stinks.
All right, Bayo. I like Brian Bayo. Don't get me wrong. He showed very
starter
good
ceiling.
Let me get to it. He showed very good promise, right? He showed promise,
Yes.
but he did show some flaws, right? He lacks control. He walked a lot of guys. He didn't know how to get out of jams. Although he's young, this is all very alarming stuff because he wasn't able to. I mean, in AAA, he couldn't battle back from counts. There was certain stuff that there were question marks that are translating and highlighted in the MLB, especially at the level of hitting and the level of production in the MLB. I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm wrong about a Red Sox prospect, when I say like they're a ceiling third starter, I will take it on the chin, right? I hope I'm wrong. But just based off of what I've seen, I don't love it. And it's not even a bad thing to be a third starter. Guys like Rick Porcello were third starters.
We need a third starter.
Like think of Rick Porcello, his entire career, everywhere he went, he was the third starter and he won Cy Young awards. So I don't know. I'm just putting it in perspective. It's not a bad thing to be a third starter. It's just I don't see him being the guy to sell tickets, especially with such a high level of expectation that he came into the league with. People were saying he's Pedro Martinez. Pedro Martinez is the greatest pitcher of all time. He's one of them, at least. You cannot compare somebody to Pedro Martinez and that guy have a 7 ERA. You know what I mean? So
no, yeah, I get you. Maybe I'm falling under the hype.
And I don't really want to hear he's young, essentially, because young pitchers around the league dominated.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I believe that too.
It does, like Grayson Rodriguez yesterday, although he let in 5 runs, he was showing strikeout potential. They didn't lose that game. Guys like Hunter Green, people thought he was atrocious. He still had under a 7 ERA. He was striking 12 guys out. He had some control issues, but he was capitalizing it with his strikeout potential, right? And there were just certain guys around the league. We'll talk about Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty's always injured now, but he came into the league at 21 and he almost won the Cy Young. So there's such a handful of guys who come into the league and dominate right away. And Brian Bayo wasn't one of them. Until I see it, I don't trust it.
That's fair. It's fair.
That is very fair.
Like
I'm looking at.
We can kind of flip it to the Cassis thing, right? How I was kind of baffled when you guys said that Cassis wasn't. When you said, it kind of got blown out of proportion.
Yeah, no, because it went really quickly from
he wasn't winning Rookie of the Year.
The statement of him being top 3 in Rookie of the Year odds or something, maybe top 5. Mm-hmm. It went from like that to being like, I just threw out like Bobby Dalbec's gonna be starting over come in like 3 weeks. Like obviously that was a joke. That one got blown out of proportion.
Yeah, but the thing with Cassis is he was dominant on the defensive side of the field, right? Yeah. Like he was making crazy major league plays playing at first base. And Brian Bayo only has half of an inning to prove his worth, essentially, right? What I mean, half of an inning, he gets his pitches, right? He doesn't get to show his bat. You rarely show your defensive ability as a pitcher. It's just he struggles against lefties, and in a league where a lot of lefties dominate, how will he perform? That's what concerns me. That's it. That's all I really have to say about Brian Bayo being a reinforcement. But yes, Garrett Whitlock, absolutely. Hopefully the Red Sox realize that he's much more valuable in the bullpen and put him there. Because if we have guys like Whitlock, Chris Martin, Kenley Jansen, and John Schreiber out of the bullpen, that's a very
That's a
good
good bullpen.
And Richard Bleer too. Shout out him.
Yeah.
He has been pitching well. It's a 1-year contract guy. I'm not expecting him to win the Cy Young or be the best reliever in baseball, but that's a lefty who can come into the game and won't ruin it for you. That's what we need.
Yeah, exactly. And Brian Bayo, to cap off his talk, it's looking like he's going to have at least one more rehab start. They're saying likely in Worcester. Shout out to the Woo Sox, who I think went 1-2 opening weekend, Will?
Yeah, I think so. 1 and 2.
Yeah, I don't know. Me and Will were both there, but I don't know. But yeah, looking at the Woo Sox team, I want to say early. I'm not obviously going to go in depth about the Worcester Red Sox here because we're not that analytical. But big takeaways, Bobby Dahlbeck was wearing glasses.
Yep.
So shout out to the beginning of the episode.
Also at
That was
shortstop.
shitty opening to it. Yeah, he was playing shortstop too. Jorge Alfaro is the catcher. He should be our catcher in the big leagues.
Yep.
And last but not least, just overall, there's a lot of guys that I think have potential to be on that big league roster after seeing some ABs in the first weekend of the Worcester Red Sox season. So look out. There's a lot of guys, Jarren Duran not being one of them. But there's a few
really
guys
good on
that
the
I'm
Padres.
ready for.
He got a lot of playing time for the Padres for a while.
Alfaro, he has some pop in the bat. A
lot of pop in the bat. He looks like Aquaman.
Yeah.
He's sick.
He has some defensive question marks, which Alex Cora hates, especially at the catcher position. But,
Alex Cora,
after the first game of the season,
Alex Cora wishes he had 9 Kike Hernandezes out there.
Up to this point, catching defensively really can't be any worse. The Orioles literally just took our lunch on the base path, and
Reese McGuire stinks. I don't get it. And the backup's Wong, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's even worse. Connor Wong is a AA catcher.
Yeah.
And I will stand by that take. That is, I feel like, one of maybe the most accurate takes. That like one of the most unarguable takes that I've had on here.
Well, you know, it's bad because like last year when we got the ESPN notification that Connor Wong was getting called up, everyone literally was like, "Why?"
Dude, he stinks. He's not. He's a catcher, but he's also like a utility guy. Like he plays second, he plays first.
Figure it out.
Speaking of,
he is Kyle Schwarber.
You guys are probably going to be able to see Trevor Story in like 2 months or so.
Good timing on him.
His rehab. He's scheduled to begin throwing program in 2 weeks, which is a great sign. He's been taking.
You want to start throwing in 2 weeks?
You
want to start throwing the ball around?
Yeah, I'm with it.
All right.
I might.
No.
I have my glove. Yeah. Will, where's your glove? If you don't have it, you can't come.
I have one. It's just not right here right now.
Shout out Will in high school. He let me use his glove like a couple times.
Yeah, that's like saying, "Oh, I have a girlfriend, but she goes to another school." You don't have. There's no glove.
Will has also hit us with that before.
If
I have, it's my catcher's mitt. It's in my bag. Like
let's see the glove stuff. Show it off.
Look at this.
I was there when you got it.
Yeah, hold on.
Check me. This is YouTube. You better be on YouTube for this.
Yeah. Oh, rounder. Boom.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Sit down. All right, sit down.
Oh, that looks like us playing MLB.
Yeah. Oh, we should record that, by the way. And I also feel like we should probably end this episode soon.
Oh yeah, this is taking the turn like the last episode.
Should we run it? Should we run it and record it?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, we're gonna check out of this episode. We've been checked out this whole episode, fucking anyways. Yeah. I'm sorry. If you listen to this once again,
I'm not sorry. This is us in truest form. right?
Is
And
it?
you guys will see this in the recording for the MLB co-op. Anything is said, and it doesn't matter. Like anything that comes to our mind is said, and it doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you'll see. You'll see. We have nicknames for every single one of our players in MLB.
The classroom.
Yeah, it's the classroom.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But anyways, we hope you did enjoy.
Marcin Gortat had a mohawk.